planes, crews, air ambulance teams, special forces, firefighters, and rescuers who made every effort to save lives and rescue people from the gunfire from the epicenter of fire and smoke, preventing even greater losses. I cannot but acknowledge the help provided by ordinary citizens who in the immediate aftermath of the tragedy did not remain indifferent or apathetic and provided first aid and transported the victims to hospitals, working alongside doctors and special agencies personnel. We will provide the necessary support to all the families whose lives have been affected by this horrible atrocity, to the wounded and the injured. I express my deepest and most sincere condolences to all those who have lost their loved ones. The entire country, all our people are grieving together with you. I declare March 24th a day of national mourning. Additional anti-terrorist and anti-sabotage measures have been introduced in Moscow, the Moscow region, and all regions of the country. Our top priority now is to prevent those behind this bloody massacre from committing another crime. Regarding the investigation of the crime, said Putin a few hours ago, and the results of the operational search action, we can currently say the following. All 4 perpetrators who were directly involved in the terrorist attack, all those who shot and killed people, have been found and apprehended. So that's the Russian government's claim. Is it true? I have no idea. They attempted to escape and were heading towards Ukraine, where, according to preliminary information, a window was prepared for them on the Ukrainian side to cross the state border. So here, Putin accuses Ukraine of working with the terrorists and preparing a window for them to cross the state border. Now, no evidence has been presented that Ukraine was involved in this attack, first of all. Second of all, as many have pointed out, it's a little strange that the border where they would, I guess, be going to is like the front line of a war, which would seem like a difficult place to cross over, given that you have a war going on and Russian troops there. So that's another thing. But again, he says they were heading towards Ukraine, where, according to preliminary information, a window was prepared for them on the Ukrainian side to cross state border. I can't confirm that, obviously. A total of 11 people have been detained. They say 11 detained, four directly involved in the operation, they claim. The Federal Security Service and other law enforcement agencies are working diligently to identify and expose the accomplice base behind these terrorists, those who provided them with transport, planned escape routes from the crime scene, and prepared caches with weapons and ammunition. Putin continued by saying, the investigative and law enforcement agencies will spare no effort to establish all the details of this crime. However, it is already clear we are confronted not simply with a carefully and cynically planned terrorist attack, but a premeditated and organized mass murder of peaceful, defenseless people. The perpetrators cold-bloodedly and deliberately targeted our citizens, including our children, with the intent to kill them at close range. Like the Nazis who once carried out massacres in the occupied territories, they plan to stage a demonstrative execution, a bloody act of intimidation. Putin went on to say all perpetrators, organizers, and masterminds of this crime will face fair and inevitable punishment, whoever they may be and whoever directed them. I emphasize once more, we will identify and bring to justice each and every individual who stands behind these terrorists, those who orchestrated this atrocity, this assault against Russia and our people. We understand what the terrorist threat means. In this regard, we rely on cooperation with all states that sincerely share our pain and are ready to really join forces in the fight against a common enemy, international terrorism in all its manifestations. He concluded by saying, terrorist murders, those inhumane individuals who have no nationality and cannot have one, face one and the same gloomy prospect, retribution and oblivion. They have no future. Our common duty now, shared by our comrades in arms at the front and all our citizens of our country, is to stand united as one. I am confident that we will, for nothing and no one can shake our unity and will, our determination and courage. The strength of the united people of Russia. No force will be able to sow the poisonous seeds of discord, panic, or disunity in our multi-ethnic society. Russia has weathered the most arduous, sometimes unbearable trials more than once, yet it has emerged even stronger, and so it shall be now as well. So that is what Putin said. That's the text of it. I'll actually post the link to it. link to Putin's remarks. I'm posting it in the chat so you can see it. You can read it for yourself. I think the biggest thing he said is trying to blame Ukraine, saying the terrorists, he says the terrorists were arrested. I don't know if it's really them. I don't know. They attempted to escape and were heading towards Ukraine, he says, where according to preliminary information, a window was prepared for them on the Ukrainian side to cross the state border. Okay, so that's what he said. Anyways, I posted the link if you want to read his comments for yourself, but I just read it. I just read it. Okay, hey, quick thanks to Dingier Pillow. Thanks for your support. Janet Burnett, thank you so much, Janet. Sandra M. Thanks also Casey Thomas for shouting out the mods. Donna Smith, Debbie James, Dawn Struns, Mary Magdalene, thanks for your support. Anyone here? Thanks Shaggy for your support on Twitch, and Snelly Cat. And Buzzy D. Alright, so that's what Putin had to say. Couple comments I want to show you from analysts I follow. Dmitry Alperovich posted, he thinks Moscow will almost certainly double down on its narrative that the terrorists are funded, supported by Kyiv, Ukraine. 1, it's helpful to ongoing efforts to mobilize society to support the war. 2, hard to do anything about ISIS-K in Afghanistan. Much easier to say you are fighting, quote, terrorists in Ukraine. So ISIS has taken responsibility for this. Reporting says that, and I believe the U.S. government has, or U.S. officials have said to certain news outlets they believe it was ISIS-K, which is an ISIS branch operating out of Afghanistan, which has committed a number of large attacks in recent months. They are believed to be responsible for the double bombing in Iran, which killed scores of people in January. So we talked about that last night. We'll talk some more about that as well. And a healthy reminder, something I saw, which I want to pass along. Kevin Rothrock, this is different. Kevin Rothrock, who's with Medusa, says, Putin says all terrorist suspects were apprehended en route for Ukraine, where early reports indicate that a window had been prepared to cross the international border. Certainly looks like the Kremlin will blame Kyiv, presumably paving the way for more mobilization. It's been talked about for a while now that Russia might want to mobilize more troops to force people to go into the army in Russia to fight against Ukraine, but they could certainly face resistance from the Russian population for doing that if they try to, have a new mobilization drive. So maybe what Kevin Rothrock is talking about is, will the government use this attack as an excuse to mobilize more people? And then also, something else I want to mention, which I saw today, I was watching TV and saw Steve Hall, who's the former CIA chief of Russia operations. And he was being asked about some of the reports coming out about Russia's investigation into the terror attack. And what he said is, it's worth remembering that whatever comes out of the Kremlin serves no other purpose than to support Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin's policies. So whether it's the numbers of casualties, whether it's who committed this terrorist attack, whether it's whether they were going to Ukraine or not, which pretty much makes zero sense, there's really nothing to believe in. So he encourages you to be skeptical of the stuff the Russian government is putting out about this investigation. And keep in mind, they could be putting it out stuff that would just benefit them, and not necessarily be true.
Alexa, set timer for 25 minutes.
Okay. 25 minutes, starting now.
Alexa, line 10.
So, what's this? Rob Lee posted this from NASH. Video from a helicopter showing the collapsed roof of Crocus City Hall. Where is it there? Oh, right there. That's the venue right there. A little closer here. Oh, there it is. Wow, look at that. That's the collapsed roof. That is the venue. Big concert hall. The roof just collapsed. How many people were in there when the roof collapsed? We don't know. Wow. D-Man said, do we know how the fire started? There's multiple eyewitness reports that the terrorists started the fire, that they threw Molotov cocktails or incendiary bombs. There's video, and there's also eyewitness reports suggesting they might have had some sort of flamethrower devices. But there's multiple reports that the terrorists, eyewitness reports that the terrorists lit stuff on fire. That did seem to be part of their plan. Numerous eyewitnesses said they did. High 61 says, I bet there's still bodies in there that never got out. Yeah, a reminder what Oliver Carroll with The Economist said. He said this morning, more than 200 might have been in the hall when Crocus roof collapsed while on fire, says Telegram channel close to law enforcement. Those numbers apparently based on CCTV. I fear the number of confirmed dead is going to rise significantly. Hey, thanks to Y Ching. Really much appreciate your support at Y Ching. Thank you, Y. I want to try to get you some more updates about the suspect, the videos of the suspect. Suspects, like interrogation videos. So this is from Moscow Times here. Russian state media released interrogation videos of concert attack suspects. Are these the actual terrorists? I don't know. One of the videos appears to show one of the suspects getting his ear cut off and a security person trying to put the ear in his mouth. Not good. Russian state-run media Saturday released videos of law enforcement agents interrogating 3 men suspected of carrying out the deadly attack on a Moscow concert hall, Moscow region concert hall the night before. Russia's FSB announced the arrest of 11 people, including 4 suspected assailants. In one of the interrogation videos shared by RIA Novosti State News, a man could be seen lying face down on the ground as another man, whose identity was not revealed, held him by his hair so he faced the camera. The man holding the detainee's head asked, "What did you do in Turkey?" "There in Turkey my documents expired. I crossed the border here," the detainee said, possibly referring to his passport. He then identified himself as Faridin Shamsuddin, adding he was born on September 17, 1998. Russia's Interior Ministry said today the 4 suspected gunmen were foreign nationals, with some media outlets reporting that among them were citizens of the Central Asian Republic of Tajikistan. What did you do in
And then we got Roof. Roof is saying, goodbye everybody. We'll see you in the next video.
is a